Between 1997 and 2004, a massive corporate extraction took place. $2.3 billion, generated entirely from scratch in exactly 7 short years. The target for this operation was a market selling a product literally defined as colorless, odorless, and tasteless. The liquid itself had zero historical pedigree. Back in 1997, Eastern European giants held a total monopoly on this space. Consumers firmly believed the best spirits came from the freezing climates of Russia and Poland. Because of that anchor, the absolute ceiling you could charge was about $17 a bottle. Enter Sidney Frank, a struggling liquor importer working the harsh New York streets. Frank noticed people in upscale Manhattan clubs eagerly paying $15 for a single martini, and he spotted a massive vulnerability in the market. He recognized that the liquid inside the glass didn't actually matter. To capture the luxury market, he didn't need to distill a better beverage. He strictly needed to engineer a superior perception of status. Standard business logic dictates that a new company should undercut the competition to gain market share. Frank did the exact opposite. He launched his bottle at $30, nearly double the absolute maximum price of the top-tier brands. This chart visualizes an economic principle known as a veblen good. For most items, raising the price kills demand, but set the price high enough and the cost itself becomes a signal of extreme luxury. The desire for the product accelerates upward precisely because it is expensive. To justify that astronomical number, Frank executed an origin exploit. He chose to manufacture his spirit in France. The country had absolutely no history in this specific market, but it held an airtight global reputation for high-end fashion and luxury goods. He layered this with a very deliberate geographical narrative. The origin story heavily promoted the use of exclusive wheat from the Picardy region, filtered through champagne limestone, creating an illusion of pure, uncorrupted ingredients. These choices had nothing to do with distillation. They were highly targeted psychological levers. By combining European prestige with a premium price tag, Frank completely bypassed a buyer's logical evaluation. The typical industry playbook called for massive television and print ad budgets to fight for scarce grocery store shelf space. Frank ignored that entirely, deploying a zero-budget seeding strategy instead. He strictly targeted elite ecosystems. His team placed the distinctive frosted bottles only in high-end New York nightclubs, private clubs, and celebrity-frequented restaurants. They aggressively pushed the brand into first-class airline lounges. This subconsciously linked the physical bottle with extreme wealth, restricted access, and high society. This created strategic scarcity. When early trendsetters publicly ordered a drink from that specific bottle, they were visibly broadcasting their own sophistication to the room. Forcing public consumption turned the object into a visible status symbol. Frank didn't buy traditional distribution networks. By ensuring the product was placed exactly where the average consumer couldn't reach it, he bought the illusion of elite validation. All of this elite positioning leads to a very obvious question. Were upscale consumers paying double the price because this French recipe actually tasted far better than the cheaper alternatives? In a strict blind taste test of 12 premium brands, the French liquid ranked 8th. But when researchers showed the exact same consumers the brand names, the frosted bottle instantly shot up to first place. Frank compounded this cognitive bias by entering the Beverage Testing Institute's competition in 1998 and officially winning World's Best Tasting. He heavily leveraged that single prestigious accolade, plastering it prominently across every menu and advertisement to borrow instant pedigree. The validation loop worked perfectly. The manufactured status caused elite hip-hop artists and high-profile celebrities to voluntarily adopt the brand. By 2005, it was mentioned in over 300 popular songs, cementing it firmly as a cultural shorthand for success. The taste tests and the cultural saturation prove a distinct point. When pitted against an expertly engineered perception of prestige, the physical quality of a product becomes completely irrelevant. The market responded exactly as Frank predicted. In 2004, the beverage conglomerate Bacardi officially purchased the Grey Goose brand for $2.3 billion. Frank had launched the concept with a tiny initial investment of $3 million. By breaking every rule of the traditional global spirits market, he walked away with a multi-billion-dollar return in less than a decade. This financial outcome established what is now known as the Grey Goose effect. It stands as the definitive moment where objective reality surrendered entirely to corporate storytelling. Which leaves us with a rather uncomfortable reality. If simple pricing tricks and strategic scarcity can completely override our physical senses for a simple drink, where else is our perception being quietly manipulated?